Hello friend, I am Naval. You are watching Code with Naval. Welcome to Java series part 23. In the last video we saw what is a polymorphism and we cover compile time polymorphism. In this video we are going to discuss runtime polymorphism. In this diagram you can see here we have a compile time polymorphism and runtime polymorphism. In a runtime polymorphism we have a method overriding. Runtime polymorphism also called dynamic binding and late binding. So let's first understand what is method overriding. Already parent class have some method implementation, but child class don't want that implementation. Then child class add a new implementation for that method. It's called a method overriding. You can see here in this diagram, here we have a parent class. In a parent class, here we have a phone method. Inside a phone method, simply we print here Nokia phone. Then child extend this class. Okay. Then child simply override that method and initialize, or you can say child re-implement this method and add here system.out.println. Instead of Nokia phone, simply child add here iPhone. Okay, Apple iPhone. This is called a method overriding. Okay, simply parent class have a already method. That method we simply override in a child class and we re-implement their already existing implementation. Okay, we don't use already existing implementation, we simply add our new implementation. Okay, now we have to follow some rules when we override a method. The first rule is the overridden and overriding method signature must be same, or we can say parent class and child class method signature must be same. Then first understand what is the method signature. You can see this method name and that parameter. Okay, whatever parameter we pass inside this method, the method name and the parameter it's combined become a method signature. It must be same child class as well as parent class. If both class have a method signature same, then only it happen a method overriding. Okay, then second rule, overridden and overriding method return type must be same at a primitive level, but we can change return type at a class level. If you saw this series data type video, then you already know what is a primitive data type. And if you use a primitive data type, one of them, we have a total 8 primitive data type in a Java. If you use any primitive data type for a return value, it must be same class, parent class as well as child class method, but we can change return type at a class level. But if we define a return type as a class, then we can change at a class level. We will see in upcoming videos in a detail how can we change at a class level. Then third point is that in a parent class, if we declare a method is a final, then we can't override final method in a child class, because final method is the final method. We can't reinitialize, we can't change any implementation final method. Remember these three things. If we declare a class as a final, then we can't extend that class. If we declare a method as a final, then we can't override that method. If we declare a variable as a final, then we can't reinitialize that variable value. Okay, these three things remember. Then fourth point is it's not possible to override a static method in a Java. Static method are specified to class, not an object, because static method is a part of class, it's not part of object. Then fifth point is that we can't override a private method. It's most restricted method in a Java. Okay, that's why we can't override a private method. Now let's open Eclipse and perform method overriding practical. Okay, I'll simply create here one class. Okay, class part 23. Let's create here class part 23. Now here we have to create a two class. Okay, now we saw in here we required two classes for a method overriding. We can't define a method overriding within a one class. We required two classes, one is the parent and one is the child. At least we required two classes. Okay, for a method overriding. Now simply we create a one father class and one child class here. Okay, let's create a two class father or parent. Okay, simply we will create a parent class and here define method public void phone method. Okay, simply, and here we simply print system.out.println Nokia phone. Okay, now here we already have a parent class in this demo package. I'll simply change here parent 1. Okay, parent 2, parent 1. Now we required one more class, child class. Let's create a class child, and this child class extend this parent class. Okay, extend parent. Okay, parent 1. Now here we need to override. Okay, this child class also already exists. I'll simply change here child 1. Okay, let's save this. Now here we already have one method. Okay, this phone method. We can directly print that phone method in a child class if we don't want to override. But here we want to override. Here we want to change implementation at a child level. Here we can simply write this method again here, or here Eclipse provide one features. I'll simply show you. You just want to right click this child class, and here you have a source. Okay, in a source here you can see override implemented method. Okay, simply click that, and you can see here we have a parent class. In a parent class here we have a phone method. Okay, click that and hit the OK button. You can see here simply override this method. You got this annotation also override. You don't need this annotation. Okay, I'll simply remove this annotation. Here you can see here by default super dot phone. That means super means parent class phone method is a calling inside a child class phone method. Okay, here we don't need to call parent class phone method. Here simply we want our own implementation in a child class. Okay, child want their own implementation. SYSO, simply I type here SYSO and add here Apple iPhone 12 Pro. Okay, Apple iPhone 12 Pro. Okay, here parent provide a Nokia phone. Okay, but child don't want that phone. Child want phone, but child don't want that phone. Okay, parent create a method, phone method, then parent provide a Nokia phone by default, or parent provide this Nokia phone, we can say. Then child want phone. Okay, then child see parent provide a Nokia phone, but child don't want that Nokia phone. Child want Apple iPhone 12 Pro. Then child simply get that method, because child also want phone, but child don't want that phone. Child simply get that method and reinitialize, or we can say simply re-implement that method. Or this is a re-implementation is nothing but overriding method, overriding. Okay, let's see. Here our method signature is the same. Here phone no parameter, phone no argument. Here also phone no argument, and here also phone no argument. Okay, let's create this child class object inside our main class. Simply child c equal to new child. Okay, and okay, add here semicolon, and using a c dot call this phone method. Okay, first we have to define here main method. Okay, main method. Inside a main method only we can call this child. Let's cut this, paste inside here, and then call c dot phone method. Okay, this phone method. Now let's run this. You can see here we got Apple iPhone 12 Pro, this output, because here simply child override that method. Okay, but if you create a parent class, if you create here parent object. Okay, I'll simply create here parent object, parent p equal to new parent. Okay, and here also we try to call p dot phone method. Okay, let's save this, run this. You can see when we call this child object through this phone method, then we got this Apple iPhone 12 Pro. When we directly call this parent class, when we create directly parent class object and we call this phone method, then we got Nokia phone. Okay, here we simply override this method in a child class. Okay, the few rules, let's see those rules. Override and overridden and overriding method signature must be same, or a parent class and child class method signature must be same. Okay, you can see here this is method signature. Okay, let's try to change here. Let's add here. Now you can see here I add a one variable, one parameter in this phone method, but you can see here it's not throwing error. Why it's not throwing error? Because it's not part of, right now it's not part of method overriding. It's become a part of method overloading. Okay, in a last video we saw in a method overloading we can send a different parameter in a same method, but different parameter is nothing but method overloading. Okay, now it's become a part of method overloading. Okay, if we call directly this c dot phone, okay, we can't call this because we pass here. If you call here c dot phone, then call this method zero argument method. If you pass here any value, then call this method. Okay, because it's become a method overloading. Okay, it's not method overriding. Okay, let's remove this. That's why method signature must be same, then only it's become a method overriding. Okay, the second rule, overridden and overriding method return type must be same at a primitive level. Okay, primitive level. Let's add here return type. I'll simply add here return this Nokia phone, and you can see here we have to add string. Okay, string. Now you can see it's throwing error. The child class phone method is a throwing error. Okay, let's over here and check change return type of phone. Okay, it's asking to change a return type. Okay, you can see here also change string. That means the parent class and child class return type must be same for overriding. Okay, if I change here and type here, okay, simply string and add here return. Okay, let's add here return. Okay, let's remove this, save this. Now you can see here no error. Okay, that means in a overriding we required a same return type, both method, parent class method and child class method. Okay, then see this third point. In a parent class, if we declare a method is a final, then we can't override final method. Okay, let's declare here one final method. Okay, I'll make this method final. Okay, now you can see it's throwing error. Remove final modifier of parent dot phone. That means this method, remove this final. So if you define a final method, then we can't override that method. Okay, then we have a fourth rule. It's not possible to override a static method in a Java. Static method are specified to class, not a object. Okay, let's try here. Let's add here static method. Okay, I'll simply create a one more method. Okay, public static void m1. Okay, simply m1 method, and here we simply print system.out.println, and here parent m1. Okay, let's save this. Now I want to create a same method in a child class. Okay, you can see it's not throwing error because child class don't know the parent class have a m1 method, and parent class don't know child class have a m1 method, because this static method is only specifying for inside a class. It's not a outside, it's not specify for outside a class. Okay, that's why if you define or not define, that's no use for a method overriding. It's not become a part of method overriding static method. Okay, then finally we have a private method. Let's define one private method. I'll simply create here one more method, public. Okay, not public, private. Simply define here private void m2. Okay, m2, and simply add here implementation system.out.println, and simply add here parent m2 method. Okay, m2. Okay, let's see. You can see it's throwing a warning. Let's hover here, and you can see here the method m2 from the child is never used locally. Okay, we can use the private method only within a class. Okay, we can't use this private any member. We can't use a private member outside a class. We can use any private member. It can be method or it can be variable. Okay, we can't use outside class. Okay, we have to use only inside a class this private member. For a method overriding, we have a reduce permission, increase permission. Those part we will see those part in a later. Before that, we have to understand access specifier, Java access specifier. Okay, for this video that's it. We will see next topic in a next video. Till that, bye bye.